not gonna put him in my top 5 in 2021 when the last album you made was 1997.
Right.
And you only had what? How many albums did he have? 3?
But just like he said last year, look at Big and Pop. We still mention them.
Right.
But one thing.
Okay, and it's a good point.
But one thing
Rakim came out in 86.
But one thing.
So from 86 to 97, hear me out. From 86 to 97, you produced what, 3, maybe 4 albums. Pop was out for about 4, maybe 5, and we know that's an argument. 4 to maybe 5 years. And look how much music.
5 years.
Okay, and look how much music you got.
He came, but the thing was, it was just 5 years since he started putting out albums, but he was working before that. I want to say from 87.
No, right, and I get my point being is
from 87.
My point being is
he was
music.
making music and
my
and
point
getting
being
in
is
the
what you
music
put
game.
out.
But he put out that album in it was 91 and he died in 96. So that was a solid 5 years
Right.
he had.
And right, so in the
And we
solid
still
5
talking about it today.
And but look how much music you got.
But
That's my point.
But the reason we still talking about him today is because he died. That's a big part of why we still.
We don't know if we really still talk. We don't know.
We
don't know what he would have did.
We really got to revisit that right now.
No. I'm not just capping it at that, but I'm just saying that's a part of the reason that, like I said, it's not many JayZs. Like JayZ was out back then, 96 or whatever, and he's still.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's
2021. He's still like one of those guys. If you put out some music,
everybody's gonna buy it.
You
want to hear it. Yeah.
So he's like the anomaly. But sometimes when a death will make you kind of shoot higher.
I agree.
But Pac and Biggie were worth that. The music they put out in the time span that they put it out, they were worth being echoed this long to still be in people's top 5 in 2021. You know what I'm saying? People still go Pac, Big, and then a bunch of other people. And they ain't had no music since then. You know what I'm saying? So they do the same with Rakim.
But
it's no different.
Right, but the difference is he's still alive.
He's still alive.
He still making music.
He still made an imprint. He still made an imprint on people.
I don't disagree with that.
Not to rest in a lot of people's top 5, but
the time
for a lot of people.
That's what I said.
A lot of people's top 15, top 20.
He was a game changer.
Rakim, and that's
a game
why,
changer.
you know
what
I'm saying?
The game has continued to evolve and change.
Yeah.
And see, that's like one of the reasons Drake is gonna continue to be in a lot of people's top 5 or whatever like that, because he was one of them guys that kind of started that whole singing rap thing and did it so well that when you push past to 10 years from now, 15 years from now, it's going to be a lot of youngins still echoing Drake to be there in their top 5 or whatever, because he was a game changer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody, I ain't going to say nobody, but like, you know, it was different guys that did it. Bone Thugs and Harmony started like a trend with the singing and rapping type of thing, but I don't think they did it as well as he did. Like when Drake got a hold to that whole singing rapping thing, it was like,
well, they just
he shifted.
I don't know.
No,
he shifted.
I think the difference is Drake had a pop appeal and they did.
He shifted.
Bone was big now.
But they
you can't just skip over that.
No, they didn't have a pop.
I didn't skip over Bone.
I think Drake just appealed more like it's a different time. And he appealed to a pop audience where Bone and them was always hip hop.
Like now, ain't nobody mentioning Bone as far as top groups or whatever. Unless you like an older head.
Yeah, that's what I say, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Older head.
Yeah, because when you argue groups, a lot of people
put the Bone.
No, they are a big group, but you're not gonna think of Bone before you think of Wu-Tang. Or or Outkast, or
Outkast.
It's gonna be quite a few groups in front of Bone. I'm not disrespecting Bone.
It goes back to what he said. It go back to what Deli said. Bone, they was a game changer.
They was. But that's what I'm saying. That's why like Drake being kind of the next step to that game changer as far as the singing and rapping type thing at the same time. Him being like the closer thing to this time. And then as powerful as he
I feel like Drake did so much.
See, Bone didn't blow as big as Drake blew.
In 1997, she wasn't nothing bigger than Bone.
They were huge, but what I'm saying is, look how long.
They sold more than about 5.
No, I think at that time it was. Now it's probably crazy.
Okay, so we would have to look at numbers, but they didn't blow as big as Drake blew. Drake
We
at his
talking about two
peak.
different times.
I know,
You
but-
remember how big Bone was?
I understand.
Because if you really look at album sales, they might not have did it.
They really did.
I understand.
Because it's streams now where
No.
they'll judge a song. Back then they had. I get what you're
I'm
saying.
not
They wasn't
taking
bigger.
away
I ain't
from
gonna lie,
that.
they wasn't bigger than Drake.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
No, we talking about album sales. We ain't talking
I'm
about
saying
big.
he talking about the
The same
impact. He
thing,
talking about
man.
Drake
I'm
impact.
talking
I mean, ain't nothing bigger than Drake. We know
Listen,
that.
I'm just talking about Bone at their peak and Drake at his peak. Drake was bigger. That's all I'm saying. I'm
So
not trying to-
let me ask this.
Y'all
So
about to
Snoop,
fight
no.
like last
So
week.
Snoop,
Y'all
so hold on,
like
let me ask you something. So Snoop at his peak and Drake at his peak, who's bigger?
Drake. Drake is international.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I may have to say Snoop. Maybe, but it's really close.
And you know why though? Because
really
the times
close,
were
but-
different.
No.
That's what I agree with him. The times was different.
No, hold on. But Drake still may win that argument. I would have to go look at some. Now that would be definitely.
You talking
something for
about
me to go-
image or music?
We're talking about period.
Music,
The times
Drake.
were
But
different.
they
Image
still, they
Image
still
Snoop.
listen.
But
They
see, you judging Snoop off of now. I'm talking about back
No,
then.
I'm saying his
at
image.
his peak.
More people
But
knew how he
listen,
knew who
I'm
he
saying-
was, but music, everybody didn't know his music.
But now they did.
Everybody knows Snoop.
I'm talking about around the world.
But listen.
Yes, they
It's
did.
a-
See, you looking at now, Darnie. We talking about back then. You
Listen.
gotta remember that was what 93.
Man,
It's
Snoop
an
is the
argument.
biggest thing.
It's an argument. But what I'm saying is, whoever you pick, they right here.
Cause my point being is,
They were right next to each other.
If
Snoop
you
at his
look
peak
if
and
you
Drake
look
at
at the
his peak.
times, if you
Right.
look at the
But
times,
Bone at their peak was lower.
if you
than
look at
Drake
the times, if you look at the times, imagine Snoop Dogg being Snoop Dogg with the internet.
That's what
It's different.
Right.
It's a different time.
Right, it's a
That's
different
all I'm
time.
saying. That there's and like I said, especially if you want to look at album sales.
But Snoop
I
Dogg
get-
only. Listen,
Now you don't make your money off your album. You
But
make
Drake-
your money off your song.
I
Drake.
get
And
that.
then plus
But
y'all
what
gotta
I'm-
understand-
But would you argue that
Hold
they
on.
right next to each other? They both were near each other. Whoever you would pick to be higher than.
No, but yeah, like
No, no.
I said, that there would be
Yeah.
an argument. Yeah.
And then
You
you,
know
gotta,
what I'm saying?
and you gotta factor in this too. Like we in America, like we just talking about for us. Like first of all, we gotta always remember. I mean, Drake always gonna be bigger.
No, I
Drake
definitely-
ain't even from here.
No, but
So
I
Drake is
definitely.
always bigger on everybody.
When
He's
I
not
talk
even
about
from
that,
over
I
there.
definitely impute that as far as the reach that they had across the world. If you look at the reach that Bone had across the world as opposed to Drake, Drake definitely wins that conversation.
I know. We all listen.
No,
You
that's
get
what I'm
hands
saying.
down. Okay, ain't nothing bigger than Drake, so we can't even put Drake in it. We
We
just
can. I'm just saying. I'm just.
no. I'm saying ain't nobody bigger than Drake. That ain't even no debate. Nobody's bigger than Drake.
What, right now or?
Whatever year. Rapper.
That's arguable.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Jay-
That was your argument,
But
basically.
no, that's you go putting words
You
in my
gonna
mouth.
say
That
Jay?
ain't what I said.
But look, this why though he
You
don't
put words in
just
my
rap.
mouth. JayZ is how old? 50?
50, yeah.
Come on.
So
But
Drake
no, it's
bigger than
different
Drake?
though. Look,
JayZ is 50 years old and he's still doing as well as he's doing. That's
I think
not.
he's not.
What
I
I'm
think,
saying
I
is-
think if Drake walked into a room in some of the farthest
He's
reaches
50.
of Russia, I think more people would
We
know
know
what
Drake,
Drake
yeah.
than Jay. I get what you saying.
Yeah, that's
if you look
correct.
at success, of course, nobody can see Jay.
That's correct. But
Right.
now what I'm saying is Jay is 51 years old and he still is moving very strongly in the hip hop realm as far as morally in a lot of other realms. But he's still able to drop some music. Did y'all hear that Nipsey Hussle and track?
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? He's still able to drop some music and still have people paying attention. All I'm saying is Drake is 34, Jay is 51. I don't know if Drake is gonna
Have that long.
have that longevity to still be that powerful at 51.
Right, we talking about now.
No,
Right now.
I get right now, and I get that Drake is like when you could argue that nobody's bigger than Drake, but what I'm saying is JayZ makes a great fucking argument. Like he is.
But then if that's
Kind
the
of the
case,
end all be all.
but I was gonna say if that's the case, if like I said, if you go to the farthest reaches of the world, more people will know what Snoop looked like. than
yeah,
know what
I
Jay-Z
agree
looked
with
like.
that. I agree with Snoop
Exactly.
image.
Yeah.
Snoop got the biggest image
Image,
ever,
yeah,
bro.
everybody knows Snoop.
Snoop is a household name.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're like Michael Jackson. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he probably would. He
And
probably
you gotta-
Michael Jackson rap music.
Yeah, because you got to think that even back in the 90s, he was on Saturday Night Live and all that.
No man, he was on the Muppets, bro.
All
The
that
Muppets.
stuff.
This dude was a gangster rapper that was on trial for murder,
Man, all
and this
that.
nigga was on the Muppets. Bro, I said, wow, this dude here, then he was on Dave Chappelle. with them too.
They don't get no bigger than
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the time. You know, if you judge Snoop at the height of his career at that time to Drake at the height of his career at this time, I would say it was equal. Because at that time, you know, rap wasn't everywhere like it is now. You know, it's everywhere now. You know, you like I said, we got
Let
rappers kids.
me ask this question. Since y'all just said that, so is Drake the GOAT over Jay?
Not because he's
Popular,
well known.
man.
Yeah,
Some
that's just
people,
popular.
would say yeah, but I personally would say no because I grew up like listening.
But then that's just
JayZ.
popularity.
Popular, though.
Like I said, there's criteria. He just got popularity, and he got some other
But if we go
criteria.
by hits, he got more hits.
Phenomenal though.
He got more
I'm
hits.
just going off what you
than
said
JayZ.
because it was just like.
But my point
you
being,
say Drake is like.
But no,
I didn't say the biggest star.
no. But what did I
He's the
just
biggest
say?
star.
What did I just say? You got to start
I
getting
mean,
your
but
criteria.
you said he. What did you just
I
say?
said he the biggest star.
Right, but I don't think he had a bigger impact than
Just because he the
Jay.
biggest star, that don't make him the
Yeah,
best.
he didn't have a bigger impact. That's what I said.
So your
When
GOAT
you-
still would be Jay.
As far as music, or
Yeah,
you talking about
because
just
that's
rap?
what I'm saying. When you start getting your
We trying to bring
criteria,
acting into this.
No, I said just rap or music.
Yeah.
but that's
Like
what I
music
said,
as a
when-
whole.
That's my
Hey,
point, though.
Hey, but look.
That's my point. When you got it, like I
Hey,
said,
look, I just saw another commercial. Drake is a good actor, though.
He
dog.
started. He was a child. He was a child actor.
He is a good actor, man. He's funny. He's funny. I want to see him in a longer role, though. Like, I want to see if he can hold his acting chops in a whole movie or something.
But he did. That's what I'm saying. He did 5 seasons of a show.
How long ago was that?
When he was a kid, he was like.
Saying, like he probably can't act like that.
I mean,
you was
I
watching
don't
it,
know.
wasn't you?
Well, yeah, I watched. I was a kid. What you mean?
I want to see if he can star in a whole movie, though. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to add that into the conversation we had. It was just something funny.
He
that
probably
we-
turned that down.
we
I
was
don't-
laughing
I don't
about
know.
before.
I'm pretty sure people came out on a rose.
Yeah, he
I don't think
definitely
he got
turned
it.
out.
I don't
He
know.
definitely
Acted
turned
to.
out.
He's funny in them commercials.
He
though.
would've did it,
In
though.
short roles, he,
But I think that's
Yeah.
being
Definitely
natural, though.
funny,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like it's like you said,
It's not a big task for him.
right, exactly. It's harder to do over a 2-hour span.
you in a whole movie.
Into a.
I said, if you watch the show, you can see the
45-second
acting
commercial.
skills. But I ain't even talking about acting. I'm talking about the other genres of the music, though.
Right. What
'Cause he
I'm
do-
saying, like just like I said, you know, like I said, I always in the most of my I always use a basketball analogy. Like just because this dude put up the most points, it don't make him the best player.
Right.
You start looking at other stuff that he do. How is his defense? So when you look at a dude who got A1 defense, still putting up points, steals and all that, you start breaking his criteria down. Then you might say he put up the most points, but I'd rather have this guy because this guy do everything. And that's all I'm saying. Like I say, when you look at Jay, like I say, when you look at what Drake do, he might, you know, he got this, and I ain't taking nothing from Drake. But like I say, when you start looking at impact and all the stuff that Jay has done, and then you can't help but look at the stuff he's done outside of music, you know, in business and stuff like that. That's what make him the GOAT. Like I say, by far, Pac's still my favorite. But like I said, there's a lot of things I think Pac left on down because he got.
But like once again, when we having a GOAT conversation about music, I don't compute all of that business and stuff that people do.
If it's around the music, I do.
No,
you
I
can't.
don't count that.
Yeah, you
man.
can.
No, you can't count that.
So
Listen,
so
listen.
it-
But listen, yeah, just this last point, like, if we having a GOAT conversation about music, you could not start adding in, like, what this guy's doing in philanthropy and what type of business moves.
I said if it's around music.
I'm just
I ain't talking about
saying,
philanthropy.
even if it's business involving music, the conversation is about who makes the best music, who's the best music maker of all time.
So
And to
so
me-
we just gonna do music maker, okay?
Yeah, if you not like when we get to having GOAT conversations about music, we talking about
Then so Kanye,
Songs.
so Kanye in the debate.
he is.
Yeah.
No.
He's always been.
Music, not
Right,
rapping.
but
music.
that's my point. You start adding in other stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like
No,
I
we
said.
talking
I,
about just
I
it's
look
music.
at
listen,
right, but I look at
realistically-
impact.
Really?
I look at like I said when I look at Death Row, when I look at the impact that Death Row had, it wasn't just music. Like a lot of people say, Rockefeller say, Def Jam say, all them say that they had a movement. Dipset say they had a movement.
It was the music
So
still.
the
Right,
music
but
was still
The
there.
music, I'm not taking the music out, but I'm just saying, well, what all else did you do in the middle of that? So like I would say,
So
yeah,
what else you
if I would add it to the fact that if you was able to go out and you brought in this guy and you brought in that guy,
No,
I
yeah, you
don't
can't.
that.
That's
I do.
business.
I
Listen,
still count it.
Hold on, but I'm just asking.
Because that could be a talent.
But listen, I'm just.
But that's not
asking.
music,
I'm
though.
not
We're
evaluating.
not just evaluating just music.
Listen, if I'm evaluating a guy, let's take this out of me. Let's go cooking. If I'm evaluating a guy for who's the best cook, right? I'm not evaluating what his hiring skills are.
Because you just talking about cooking. So if we just talking
Hold on,
about music,
hold on.
it adds in a lot of
So hold on. That's what I'm saying. When people are having a GOAT conversation, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the meat and potatoes. I'm talking about
I'm not.
I'm talking. Listen, but you can't choose. If I'm asking about cooking, look, if I'm evaluating cooking, right? You, and you. Who is the best cook that I got? Who's the best chef, right? And you, in your mind, you like, well, I hired 2 other guys that was cold. I'm not. I didn't ask you about who you hired. I asked you to take this chicken and do something phenomenal.
Okay, I got it. That's
Same
a good
thing.
point.
Same
That's a
thing
good
as I
point, though.
asked
So
for him and
when you
him.
evaluate a chef, do you look at just how the food tastes, or do you look at his presentation too?
Yes, because that's part of cooking. How his food
That's
tastes.
my point. So when I'm talking about music, I'm
listen.
talking about a bigger portion.
No, but listen,
Because that ain't got nothing to do with how the food tastes. Your presentation ain't got nothing to do with how the food tastes.
Dre, when I said who's the best chef,
You didn't say chef. You said cook.
who's the best cook? I just said cook.
So
and
that's
chef.
just food.
Dre, so I said who's the best chef? If I'm having a competition to see who's the best chef, cooking, the food is
You
all.
alright, play?
It's all.
I know you want to move on.
The food has to taste good, and you have to present it well for it to hit multiple points on the dish. Now, when you go outside of that and say, "Well, I hired a great prep cook," that has nothing to do with your chefing ability. What your prep cook can do, you know what I'm saying? Your chefing ability just relies on you, just like in the music. Your music ability relies on you. It doesn't have about who you.
So you
sign.
don't look at impact. You don't look at none of that.
What you mean by impact?
Your impact on the music industry.
Through your music, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. Now, if you want to expand
We
it and have
disagree.
another conversation, then
Yeah,
cool.
we disagree.
But
I
I'm
look
just
at
saying,
everything.
on that note.
yeah.
We gonna end it on that note. We gonna.
No, man, we still talk about this. You
Still
sit
talk
over there and
about
be
this.
quiet. So, back to what we were saying.
We gonna get with y'all on the next episode. Leave in the comments your opinion, how you feel about it. Give a shout out, give your name. Tell people they can find you at.
P Cap, it's your boy, man, on Instagram. P.Camp on Instagram. P.Camp on Facebook. Oh, no, not on Facebook, but on YouTube.
Dre D underscore DET on Instagram.
Rap Talk, get at me, Rap Talk underscore poetry on Instagram. We thank y'all for tuning in to the Fly on the Wall show. See y'all in a minute. Holla back.